What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I have another video in our 2022 NBA Draft Player Breakdown series. Today we're going to be going over Ohio State's Malaki Branham. Malaki is someone who, coming into the season, probably wasn't even on a ton of teams' draft radar, let alone playing himself into a spot where now he could be a potential lottery pick. And so he had a great freshman season at Ohio State. Gonna get into some of his strengths, some of his weaknesses, all that. But more importantly, I want to hear what you guys have to say about Malaki's game. So make sure you leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know where you think he's gonna be picked, who he should go to, all that. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So just a quick intro to Malaki. Malaki is a 6'5", 180-pound shooting guard out of Columbus, Ohio. He went to St. Vincent St. Mary's High School, which is the same high school as LeBron James, so he has high pedigree. He decided to stay home and go to his home state school, I guess you could say, and going to Ohio State, where he was a solid recruit. He was, a 4-star recruit, but wasn't necessarily a projected one-and-done type guy. Was expected to probably stay in school for a couple years, and had, just like I said, outperformed his expectations. He ended up winning Big Ten Freshman of the Year, played really well in conference play, averaged 14, 4, and 3 for the season, shot the ball really efficiently from the floor, was a great defender for Ohio State, and so there's a lot to his game. I love stories of guys who aren't the surefire top 5 guy in his class, gonna be one and done type. I like stories like this where a guy goes to the right situation, finds a good fit for him, and is able to maybe outperform expectations or play better than expected and play himself into being a potential lottery pick. And so there's a lot to like with Malaki and his game. So now kind of going into the strengths of Malaki. I think the best way to describe Malaki and his game is just solid. He's a really solid basketball player who doesn't have a lot of holes in his game. He can do just a little bit of everything, and I think the best way to describe him would be to just be a winning player. He seems to make winning plays. He doesn't seem to force anything, and he just, like I said, is a winning player. Kind of starting with the offensive part of his game, he's someone who can score at all 3 levels. Starting with his three-point shot. Shot 40% from 3. Release looks a little slow at times, but shot 40%. If you left him open, he can knock it down. He can also has a decent enough handle, or a good handle I should say, where he can attack guys off the dribble, attack closeouts and get to the hoop and finish there. And then I think maybe where he was almost best in college at times is kind of operating in that mid-range area. If you were giving him that shot, he was willing to take it, whether it was off the dribble or one dribble, 2 dribble pull-up, things of that nature. He could get into those kind of sweet spots in the mid-range area and knock those down as well. And so in terms of scoring the ball, there's not a lot that he has to really work on in his game. He's a 40% three-point shooter. He can knock down the mid-range J, and he's a good enough athlete to get to the hoop and finish there. And so there's a lot to like with his game offensively. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, he's someone who has good size at 6'5", 180 pounds. He'll fill out a little bit more, but he just played really hard on the defensive side of the ball and was able to guard multiple positions. He can guard both guard spots. He can guard other teams' threes. And in today's NBA, where the 4-man almost seems to get smaller and smaller, he can switch onto some 4s and hold his own, I would guess, at the NBA level. Now, he will have to put on some size. He's only 180 pounds, but that's what he's listed at. So he will have to get a little bigger, but there's a lot to like with just how hard he played defensively and the intangibles and the skill set there. There's a lot to work with on both ends of the floor. The other thing that I really like about Malaki in his game, kind of going back to the offense, is that he knows how to play off the ball. He's not someone who is going to be a high usage type guy at the NBA level. He knows how to play off the ball. He knows how to come off of screens. He knows how to move without the ball and relocate and position himself well with other people having the ball. And so he's going to be able to go to a situation where you can put other ball handlers around him, you can put other creators around him, and he's going to be able to fit in and play a role with a team. Now, is he necessarily going to be a star player for that team? No, but he's going to just be able to play with multiple different types of guys, and he gives teams, will give teams, I think, a lot of flexibility in terms of what they can put around him, because he's just a really flexible, really versatile guy who isn't going to demand the ball or be a high usage guy. Now, kind of looking at the weaknesses for Malaki, I think there's a couple things that he's going to either get knocked on or he'll have to improve on at the NBA level. I think the big thing that could hold him back, I guess, in terms of where he's drafted or what his potential is, I guess, is he's not an elite level athlete. He's not some crazy physical specimen. He's a solid athlete. He's a fluid athlete in the open floor, but he's just doesn't have that elite burst. He doesn't have an elite first step. He's not some quick twitch guy who can get to the hoop and explode there. You can kind of see that deficiency at times in traffic. And so that lack of elite athleticism, I think teams will think that will kind of limit his upside to an extent. Another thing is he's going to have to add strength at only 180 pounds. He's going to have to probably put on another 15, 20 pounds at least to really give him that positional flexibility I think teams would like with him. And so that's a part of his game that he needs to improve. But luckily, they say that adding weight is the easiest weakness, I guess, to say that you can fix at the NBA level. Get him with NBA trainers, NBA weight room, NBA meal plan, all that. It shouldn't be too much of an issue, I don't think, for him. And then just he's going to have to tighten up the handle and get a little better, more creative with the handle, and become a little more of a creative scorer, I guess. Maybe add a little more wiggle to his game or a little more diversity in terms of just how he can create his own shot. And so I think that's an area of his game he'll have to improve on as well. Overall, I think Malaki is exactly what I said at the start of the strength segment, which is he's a really solid basketball player who I think can be on a winning team and can be a key rotational guy someday for playoff type teams. He's just got that type of game where you can stick him in lineups and he's going to fit. He's going to make winning plays. He's going to knock down open shots. He can create a little bit for himself at times. And I think he's going to get better. I think we saw that with his time at Ohio State. Got better as the season progressed. And I think at the NBA level, he's going to do that as well. There's still some upside for him as well. He's a young guy. He's only a freshman, so he's got time to develop. But yeah, he's just, I think, really solid, a winning type player. And so those are my thoughts on Malaki. Make sure you leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of his game, all that, where he should go. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys later.